Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. You clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for October 21st through November 4th. We have a trough here off the west coast, and we also have this upper low here in the Four Corners above normal heights here in the east. Zone of flow remains across southern Canada. But when you have this upper low, it'll push eastward and then phase at northern stream energy in this. And this will amplify trough by the midweek period later in the period here in the east, but that should be short-lived. And also that will bring, we'll take a look at the surface, that'll bring some rain and storms from the Great Lakes to the northeast, mainly. Maybe some snow here in upstate New York, so forth, but that's what we have. That would be pushed by the trough setting up in the east, but again, that'll be short-lived. Then we have a ridge over the west central states. You can see it right here. And we will have an upper low in the eastern Pacific that will push eastward and bring higher elevation snows by the end of the week. And we'll look at that at the surface. You see the system here, okay? All right. We're going to look now at the period for October 26th to the 30th. We have a trough here still off the west coast above normal heights with a zone of flow here across the country. And here's our ridge extending across the Caribbean to the Pacific. So the model's a pretty good agreement on this. So for this forecast period, I am calling for... It's not going to change. Calling for above normal temperatures for a large portion of the country. I'm expecting anomalies that could exceed 10 degrees or more in this area right here. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for much of this region here. And the probability of occurrence is at least 40% across this area, mainly here. Okay, we're going to look at the period for October 31st to November 4th. Now the GFS has a trough here in the west, ridging still in the east. It's not very strong, but it's there. And we look at the other models, more of a zone of flow. A little bit of troughing going on here in the west, but still above a zone of flow at above normal heights. So I'm calling for a little change in the temperature anomalies and for precipitation. Calling for above normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence is near 35%. Below normal precipitation here. And for this region, probability of occurrence is 35 to 40%. Next thing we're going to do now is we have some action still occurring in the Pacific. In the Atlantic, in the tropics. And if you look here at the, this area now has become a little better organized and has a 70% chance of development. But that's forecast to move into the Yucatan, bringing some heavy rain here. And this system has a very low chance to move to Lesser Antilles, so we pretty much write that one off. But this one has a burst. And we'll be watching this later on. It could move into the Gulf. Who knows what happens after that, but we have time to watch it. Okay, that's it for now. That's the long-range weather forecast discussion for October 21st to November 4th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.